Well, I can tell you in the name of the whole crew, in the name of the whole Curtiz team, that we were really excited because we are so grateful about that we were invited. So we are happy. We're happy now, after all.
I grew up in Toronto, so I was extremely excited to get to see Curtiz in the film festival here, and it was a real joy. We had, like Evelin said, amazing team in Budapest. I started my career acting in Toronto, and I did a lot of independent stuff, and it was really amazing to get to go and do it in a country like Hungary and shoot in Budapest. And we had Tamás and Claudia, an incredible director, producer team, and Judith, our other producer, was fantastic, and just everybody from the hair, makeup. I was worried, I had people say, "Oh, gee, what do you think? Independent movie out in Budapest. What do you think that crew's going to be like? It'll be crazy." And it was the most organized, together, loving, embracing kind of I really wish that they got to be here and enjoy this with us. But for me, again, a real honor to be here in Toronto and get to have a movie like this shown and bring some of my friends and family to see it. To be honest, that's kind of everything when it comes to a project like that, and you could speak to them, talk to Tamás for 10 minutes, and just how he would describe what he wanted to do with the picture. You could tell he was a true artist and had such a vision. And you should see the storyboard book he put together, that just every little detail had been thought out and planned ahead. They just really, my brother and I both, he was in New York, I was in LA, we got on Skype with them, and we'd really been humming and hawing. Our agents were like, "Look, you could take this or not take it, But the project was kind of a dream, having loved Casablanca. But talking to Claudia and Tamás was what sold us on it. We were just like, "I'll go wherever they say because they've got something here,
Because they have that passion, that kind of passion that can influence every crew member. So they're working on this project for 5 or 6 years, and we were like a family during the shooting.
I guess one question that I have for you is, what can film festivals in general do to support films like Curtiz and independent films that may not have the studio backing and the money from Warner Brothers or Fox Searchlight or Amazon Studios? How can work like this exist in the world? How can it get out there? Because it seems like really difficult these days to even sell a film with 2 major A-list actors. You need 7 or 8 just to pack a house. So speak about what film festivals can do, not specifically Pendance, but just film festivals in general can do to support independent film.
Well, I think it's important because the audience can help in this way, because if there is an opportunity to watch, for example, Curtiz, a lot of people, and if they like it, they will speak about it. And I believe that it can help it.
I really believe that film festivals like this are essential to get smaller independent films out that you look at these big studio films, and a huge percentage of their budget is going to advertising and promoting and getting it out there that way, which these independent films don't have. They don't have that kind of money. So it's these festivals that really bring awareness to a lot of the little hidden gems that just wouldn't make it to the mainstream, pretty much for financial reasons, and so they're kind of the saving grace for independent movies that have something to kind of say to the world, and it's the festivals that help them get out there and get seen. So very grateful to have them.
Of course. And of course, my last question to you is more specific to your performances, because I've found when I walked away from Curtiz, I said, who is this actress? Have I not heard of her? She's like immediately one of my favorite actresses. I couldn't believe how good you were. I immediately started to Google you, and I was like, how the hell do I not know about this person? I speak to what you brought to this performance, because I think in a lot of ways, as much as I admire the technical achievement of the film and the acting performances of all the actors, and like how brilliantly, like, you know, as I said, technical achievement, how brilliantly shot it was. Everyone was remarking on our team how polished and fine-grained it was. Like when we heard the production story, we were like shattered. We couldn't believe how this film was made. But for me, like, and Pendance, like, this was not like our criteria when we were selecting films, was not like big production value and whatever, it was story. And I found that this character that you brought to life was like the anchor of the film for me personally, and maybe other people will disagree, but I think for me it was like the anchor of it. It was the character that I could connect to the most, the character that I felt for the most. So please talk about like what you did to put something of yourself into this character.
First of all, I have to tell you that it was a real teamwork. So Claudia, Thomas, the director, the producer, the script writer, helped me a lot. We were talking about this character for hours, way before the shooting, and during the shooting also. But you know, I have a personal connection to this character that I told you before. It was emotionally exhausting work for me, because at the same time it was a therapy to understand Kitty's thoughts, Kitty's feelings for her father, to understand the situations. It was not easy, but I could work of my real life happenings. And the other thing that I would like to tell you, that the passion that I felt is coming from this kind of teamwork, because Steven Spielberg said about Michael Curtiz, he is the greatest director you have never heard of, and that is why we wanted to make a film about the greatest Hungarian origin director, and it was also an inspiring point of my work.
It was specifically, I think, for your character, but
my question for you as an actor is, at what point does a director potentially over-explain a part to the point where it starts to, pardon my language, but fuck with your head? Like, at what point do you get too much information where you become confused about like the plot points, because there are different directors and they have to like adjust to the actors that they're working with? So, you know, like, just speak to the point of like how a director can help an actor, and sometimes maybe how a director can help an actor by just getting the hell out of the way.
I think ultimately that that's the best case scenario, is that a director, at the point that they actually hire an actor, they're sort of trusting that the actor can do without too much input from them, and that they're going to make their choices. And sure, if there are, you know, something doesn't fit and doesn't seem right, that's when directing comes in, finesse this a little bit, tweak that kind of stuff. But yeah, you know, it's a collaboration when you do a movie like this, and you just try to make your part sort of fit with the rest of the machine, you know. And so it's nice to work with somebody that has their vision for what they want in the project, and allows you to kind of have the freedom to play with your vision of the character. And so it was really an amazing experience, and Tamás was great in trusting all of us to bring our sort of selves into the role. So.